this is Sharon, and I have another mini album I'd like to share with you guys. This is a little boy mini album, and it's for a baby boy, and I use this paper collection right here, Up, Up, and Away, and it is by First Edition Papers, and it has like some letters, sheets in here, and just a bunch of different, has glitter pages, really pretty paper. I thought it would be cute to make a little baby boy mini album. And this is it right here, and it's based on this mini album right here. I had did this one earlier for a little girl, and so I wanted to do, I had a lot of questions on different things that I did in this mini album. One of them was this right here where you flip these pages up like this, and it's kind of like a waterfall flip page. I had some questions on that, so I wanted to address those, and I did like a tutorial on this, so that I think there was 3 parts, part 1, 2, and 3, and then this is the finished mini album after I got through with it. I want to show you guys how it turned out, because in the parts I do not embellish it. I just show you how I, layer the papers and do all the pocket pages and things like that. So if you guys are interested in a tutorial on how I made this mini album right here, just stay tuned. Part 1 will be at the end of this video, the tutorial part, and then there's a 2 and a 3 part that I will try to get uploaded tonight as well. So let me go ahead and get started on this one. Like I said, it's based on the little girl mini album I just shared with you guys. All the pages are just like that, but it's just with a different kind of paper. So this is a 6x8 mini album, or I think it's really like 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, but the pages are 6x8. I started off with 110-pound white cardstock paper. Then I layered this blue cardstock paper, and then I did the paper collection over the top. And like I said, it has some letters and one of the sheets, so I just fuzzy cut those out and put "It's a Boy" across the top there. And it's glitter, really pretty, shiny, glittery letters. And then this is just the paper collection, and I layered this little, this is a La La Land stamp. It's a little boy stamp, and I just colored that with my Copic markers. And this is removable, so whoever purchases this, it will be for sale, can take this out if you want to and put your own picture in here. And after I did, layered the picture here, I just put some little flowers here on each corner. And then for the binding, I just have like a double seam binding bow here, and then it has a little heart, not a heart, I'm sorry, a little panda bear right there, if you guys can see it. And then I layered this up here. This is a resin piece, and you can stick like a date back in here. It's not adhered across the top up here, so you could put the baby's name or date or just whatever you wanted to put in there. And then the back of it, it looks like this right here. It's just a paper collection. Really cute little paper collection. So we'll go ahead and get started. So for the first page right here, it's just a flat page, and it just opens like this, and you have room for pictures here and here. And this is a stamp that I had in my stash, so I just colored it with some Copic markers and fuzzy cut that out. It's just a little sailboat. And so you can also layer some, and I did leave this open on the side here, so you could put some pictures right here, and then you could layer, like I said, you put your pictures here. It opens this way for more pictures here, and you have a big space right here, and this has a lot of pretty glitter in it. And then you have, across the top up here, you have a pocket, and you have 2 more photo mats and journaling spots across the top up there. And then this is a Martha Stewart punch that I have up here at the top, right here. So that's the first page. And then this page right here, like I said, it's just like the little girl mini album. This is like a waterfall card, and it just opens up. This is a tag from the paper collection, and then I just put this little flower here, and I purchased those at Hobby Lobby. And so this just opens here, and you have this little place for a photo here, then you have this large place here, and these close with magnets. And then on this part right here, this is something I cut out of my Cricut machine. It's a little crib, and I double layered it with some white and blue paper. I put some little flowers here, And this is another stamp that I have, so I just Copic colored, it's like a little jumper for a little boy. I Copic colored that and put it there. And then this is a Magnolia Doohickey tag, and just put it right in here for like a little journaling spot. And then this page flips up, and I do explain how to do this in the tutorial to follow. I'm not sure which part it is, but you have several different places right there for photo mats. And then this page opens here. It has a flip up here, another flip here, and this is just a sticker that I picked up. I picked up a sticker sheet, and I'm not sure where I purchased it, but it's a little cat drinking out of a little blue bowl, so I have those throughout here. And then this flips down. You have this place here, this place up here for pictures, and then this big place right here as well. And this page over here is just a simple pocket page, and I have another airplane, another stamp that I colored with my Copic markers, and it's just an airplane that has like a little banner. I thought maybe you could write the name of the date or the name of the baby here as well. And then this is just some photo mats right here. Really pretty paper. And then the back is where you could put your photos, or you could journal on the back. So I thought this paper collection was really cute. I hope you guys like it. I purchased it a long time ago at Hobby Lobby, so I'm not even sure if they have it anymore. And then this page right here are belly band pages, and it just has two photo mats. It has a smaller one here, and then this one's larger here. It has a little sticker at the bottom with a little cat on it. And this side is the same way. Photo mat here and here and here. It has a little sticker of a little puppy there. So this album was really simple. I didn't want to do anything really hard for a tutorial, for me being the first time, and I thought if you guys wanted to, you know, go along with me, you certainly could. This would be something easier to follow. And so this page right here, this is another little stamp I have, and I just Copic colored it, fuzzy cut it out, and put a little tag right here so it is open if you wanted to put a picture there, or you could journal on this. This flips this way and this way, and then you have this big page right here for another photo mat. And then this page over here is a little booklet, and it just slides out like this. It has some pretty lace trim here on the front and on the back, and then a seam binding bow here that holds it together, and then it's just like a little flip booklet. You could journal over here and put your photos on this side. And these pages are really stiff. I mean, it's almost, this does not have chipboard in the mini album, but I think it's the glue and the type of paper that I use. I'm not sure. I use the Basil that you can purchase at Michael's for the blue, so it's really sturdy paper. And then this cardstock is really sturdy as well. And then back here you can also put a picture here, and this is a Magnolia Doohickey die here. I put two little flowers here, and I built a little box, and I'll show you guys how to do that in the tutorial for my book to sit in. And then I have this little banner right here that I Copic colored and fuzzy cut out. And then for this page right here, it just flips up, and you have a big space here. And then this one has a little small die here from La La Land, and it's open at the top too, so I just stuck this tag in there for a little journaling spot. And then this flips down. You have this big space, and then you have this big space as well for pictures. And I also put the paper collection on all of my binding here. And then this page right here are just two pocket pages. Like I said, both of these were Martha Stewart punches here. And so I just layered a bunch of little tags that was in the paper collection just for journaling spots. You could use these in other parts of the albums if you wanted to. Or you could, you know, use them right here. And I thought if you used them in other parts of the album, you could also, you know, just put your pictures right in here. So it's just according to, you know, ever how you want to do that. And I put some string on them, so if they get down in there, you can, pull those back out. And then you have two large tags up here for photo mats. So you have these two places here. And they just slide back down in here. And then, of course, there's the back again. So I hope you guys like it. And like I said, this will be for sale. I will list the link to my Etsy store in the description bar below. And if you guys are interested, like I said before, there will be a tutorial following this. It'll be part 1. And it'll be part 1 of 3. So there's 3 parts altogether. And I will try to get all those listed or uploaded so you guys can watch them without having to wait. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hello everybody, this is Sharon, and I have had several requests for a tutorial on the mini albums that I've been creating, and so I wanted to try to put together something kind of fast here. This is going to be my first tutorial on mini albums, so I hope that it'll kind of answer all the questions that you guys have, and if not, you can just ask me in the comments and I'll be glad to help you. It may be several different sections. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be using this paper collection right here. It's called Up, Up, and Away. It is by First Edition Paper. It has some really pretty papers in here, and I'm going to be creating a little boy mini album. Let's see if I can get this light a little bit better. It has greens, blues, some beige. It's got stripes. It's got some tags in it. There's the page with the tags in it, and so it has a lot of different things in here. I thought it was a really pretty paper pad to create something for a little boy. So that's the paper collection, Up, Up, and Away by First Edition Paper. And I'm going to be using this 110-pound cardstock for my base. And I believe I purchased that at Michael's, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm going to use this blue paper to layer it. And the color of this is, let's see here. Well, Star Mist is the name of this blue color. And I'm going to base it on this mini album that I made for a little girl. I had some requests on how to make this pocket right here. And this just flips up, like this, kind of like a waterfall page, but it's a little different, not much. And so I had some requests on that. I had a question on my folio. On this as well. So I'll kind of be going over that. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for that. But for right now, I'm just going to show you how I make the binding for my mini albums. So I will be right back, and I'll give you everything how I do it. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the template that I created to make my my binding system here. This will be for like a half-inch gusset between each of the pages. In other words, it'll be a half-inch right in here on this part. So you can do these bigger, and I have some more just little templates that I created to make them bigger, that I can just kind of go by these. So what I did is the mini album that I'm going to be creating is going to be 8 1/4 inches high, and I think this one is 6 1/4 inches wide. It is. So it's going to be 8 1/4 inches tall and 6 1/4 inches wide. So to create my binding for it, and you guys may hear my husband cutting grass. This is the only chance that I've had to do this. So hopefully you can hear me. I just made this template right here, and it says 4 inches across. So that's the first paper that I cut out. So it's 4 inches this way, and it's 8 1/4 this way. So, and then the next one says 3, so it's 3 inches across, and then 8 1/4 this way. And then the next little template is saying it's going to be 2 inches wide. So this is 2 inches wide and 8 1/4 inches tall. So that's the little template that I use, and then after I get those done like that, the next thing I'm going to do is do my Martha Stewart. I'm going to use my scoring board, and so we're just going to lay this in here with the 4 inches at the top, and then you're going to just score it on each side at 3/4. So this is 3/4 here, so I'm just going to score that all the way down to the bottom. And then I'm going to score this side as well, all the way down to the bottom. And so you're going to do that on each of your pieces of paper that you cut out. Okay, after you do that, you can just go ahead and fold these pieces up, and I'll be right back. I'm going to get everything else together so you guys won't have to wait, and I'll be right back to show you the rest of it. Okay, so all I did is just score these pieces that I had scored on my score pile, on my Martha Stewart scoreboard. I just went ahead and folded all those to get these 3 pieces right here. And so all you're going to do is you're going to glue these together like this right here, and this will be your binding. You're just going to kind of eyeball it, or that's the way I do it. I just eyeball it and just use some glue. I use this Fabri-Tac glue right here. I think for me it suits me the best, because if you make a mistake with this, you always have time to adjust it a little bit. And to me it makes the pages really stiff and stronger, and so I just like this. It is a little bit pricey, but this is the favorite one that I have. And so so I'm just going to go ahead and glue those together. And this mini album does not, the one I'm showing you guys today, does not have any cardstock in it at all. So it's all made with the not cardstock, I meant to say chipboard, I'm sorry. It does have cardstock, and it does not have chipboard. So I'll be right back. I'm going to glue all these together, or I'll just let you guys watch. It doesn't take but a minute. And so I just wanted to make this video as fast as I could so you guys wouldn't have to wait and just sit here and watch me do this, because my glue is kind of old here and it's slow getting down. But so you can just fast forward through this if you want to. All I'm going to do is just put some of this glue on the back of here. And it really doesn't take that much glue. I'm just going to put a good little coat right here on here. And then I'm going to put it the best way that I can right in the middle of that. And just kind of try to center it. Like I said, I have a little bit of time to, kind of play with it. After you get it, kind of like how you want it, just kind of mash that down. And then we're going to do the next one the same way. And I am working on a mini album that I'm going to be including a chipboard front and cover. I've done those before, but the ones that I had the request for the mini albums for the tutorial this time was for this kind. So I just kind of like to make sure all this is right at the top here, even or whatever, and even at the bottom, and then you can just just press these down really good. Make sure they're really pressed down. And I like to let this dry for a little while, just so it doesn't move, because it can move if you since it's wet glue, it can move some. So I do like to let that dry for a little bit. And then the next step that we're going to do is I'm going to cut out my pages, the 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm just going to cut out some white cardstock. I will cut out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and I will be right back. Okay, so what I did is just went ahead and glued each one of the papers that I cut out, the cardstock, onto my little flaps here. I did leave one so I could do it on camera. And my glue was just about to run out, so let's see if I can push that down there and just put it like this. So all I'm doing, like I said, is just putting my cardstock on my little flaps that I scored just a few minutes ago. And we're still, you know, just making the binding part. So I'm just going to take this piece, and you don't want to put it all the way down to the score mark or it won't fold very well. But you want to put it just above it, and then you want to make sure you get your two side pieces even with the top and the bottom. And then you can just mash that down. You want to make sure these are even with your little flap. And then you want to not get it on your score mark right there. Then you're just going to mash that down. And then you can fold it over and mash this side down as well. Put the lid back on my glue so it won't dry out. So that's the way it looks so far. Is there's the binding part, and then here's the back. I always use the back where I did my lip of my score there, and then this will be the front of it. So I just like to work it, you know, just after I get it in here, just mash all these down, make sure the glue is down in here really, really well, and make sure I have everything even and nothing's moved. Like I said, it can move some since this is wet glue. This piece in here will be your gusset. And if it does move, you know, with just a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything, I don't think. None of them are probably ever perfect. After you get all your embellishments and everything on them, you know, you probably won't even be able to tell it. Just like this little place right here, I do have a little bit of glue that's seeped out right there. After you put your design paper over this, you will never ever see that. So that's the way that it kind of turned out. And like I said, this book is 8 1/4 this way and 6 1/4 this way. So all I'm going to do now is just take this blue paper that I have, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to mat all of these. The blue will be cut at 8 by 6, and I'll just mat that over the top, and that really makes it a lot stronger. And wait a minute, I might be telling you guys wrong. I've did so many different ones. Let me make sure that I am telling you right. No, I will not be matting that. I will go ahead and cut my pages out, just like I said, but I'm not going to mat them yet because you can't mat it until you get all your folds and flaps and things like that done. On your pocket pages, you could mat it, but I'm going to wait because I want to do like some of these folds, like in this one right here. This one has like a pocket, and then it has these two folds right here. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to wait and do it like that. So you can go ahead and cut your papers out to a 8 by 6, but don't mat them on here yet. This is just our frame, and that's the way it looks so far. And you know, it just opens like that. That'll be your mini album. And this paper is really strong. It's almost like a lightweight cardstock at this point. And then chipboard, I meant to say. And after you add your cardstock to it, it's going to even make it stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out so you guys won't have to watch me do that, and I will be right back. Okay, I went ahead and adhered my 8 by 6 blue cardstock to my, my mini album here. So this is the front cover, like I said earlier, and this is the back with the little tiny flap right here. So this is the front, so I adhered a piece to the front. Then I skipped these 2 pages. Actually, I made a mistake and put it there, but it wasn't supposed to be. So I skipped these 2 pages, skipped this page, I adhered another piece to this page, and this is the one I tore out of the front. But you can still use it if you mess up, because all you're going to see is the very edge of it. And then I adhered these 2 pages. This is in the middle of the mini album, so I put one on each side here. And I put one on this side, and then one on this side, and then one on the back. So that's and I went ahead and did the one for here, and I believe that is 2 1/4. Yeah, this is 2 1/4 inches wide by 8. So I went ahead and did all that to my mini album. And if you guys are following me, you can just pause it, and because I have some more stuff I want to show you. So I went ahead and got this page right here ready, and it'll look like this, where you have like your 2 flaps right here, and then you also have a pocket up here at the top. So that's the way this page will look on this mini album as well. So what I did is I went ahead and cut out my background, which is 8 by 6, the blue cardstock. And then I have another piece that is 6 1/2 inches this way by 6 this way. And the punch I use is this one right here by Martha Stewart. It's called Eyelet Lace. So that's the punch I'm using. And if you have a different punch, you know, you can use it. It might just vary. Where I have this one at 6 1/2, yours might be 6, or it might be 6 3/4. It really doesn't matter. Your pocket will be just a little different. But anyway, I have this at 6 1/2 by 6. And then my 2 flat pieces are 6 this way by 3 1/2. And I have 2 of those. So after you do all of that, then you're just going to build your page, or that's the way I do it. Let's see here. Sometimes I can't even remember exactly how I do it. I have to just look back and see. So it looks like I went ahead and put these pages right here on. Let me make sure though that this one is going to fit. So you're going to have it like this. This will be the way to look in your book on your page. And then you're going to take one of these and you're going to just slide it. You're going to score this, I meant to tell you guys this too, at 1/2 inch right here on your scoreboard. You'll do it at 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on this side. And this is the 6 inch side. So you scored a 1/2 inch there and a 1/2 inch there. And then you're going to take it where you scored it and you're just going to put it behind all of that, like that. And just kind of find out where you want it to look, you know, how you want it to look. And then this side will go on this side, like that. So that's the way your 2 pieces will be. And I also, at this point, like to write where I'm going to put my magnets. So I'm going to have a magnet on this side, but it's going to be on the back of it. So I'm going to go ahead and write magnet on here. It'll be covered up with, you know, your pattern paper. I'm going to go ahead and write that on there so I won't forget to put it on there. And then where this is going to be on the top part. And so where that hits, it'll hit like right in here, the magnet wheel. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to write magnet here as well. So I won't forget to put my magnet on the back for this. But you still have to go ahead and put all this together first so you can, you know, put your pattern paper on. So I'm going to take this little piece right here out and let me mark it first. So I'm going to go over the top of that. So that's going to be there. So I want mine to be about like that because I want a little bit at the bottom and I don't want it to go over my punch at the top there. So I want it about right there. I'm just going to slide that out. And that's about where I want it. So I'm just going to mark that there. Mark that there. So I can go ahead and adhere that. And the glue that I use is, hang on one second. Not very prepared. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I hope you guys forgive me. This is the Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. I just use that for my flaps. So I am going to go ahead and just put some glue right here. It'll come out. It seems like if you do a video, it is not always going to work out for you. Get my glue stuck or something. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just put some glue here. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. And I'm going to line it up with this little mark right here. So that's about where I want it to be. And the pattern paper, you know, it's going to cover that up. So it's going to, you won't be able to see any of this writing that I have on here. I just put that on there just for me to help, you know, so I won't get it all mixed up when I'm doing it. I even make me a little sheet, you know, just so I can just kind of go by that when I'm doing it as well. So I'm going to put that there. And then this page, this flap here is going to go on this side. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue there. And I don't know if this is right or wrong, the way I do it. This is just the way I do it, so there's probably better ways. So I'm just going to slip that one up under there because I want the other one to be on top. And then I'm just going to push that down. And just make sure you push these in, these sides, because you don't want them to stick out a lot further than these two pieces. So I'm just going to push that down like that. And then before you can put this piece down in the middle right here, you will have to go ahead and put you some of your pattern paper here, because if you put this down first, you won't be able to put your pattern paper down. So you do have to go ahead and cut a piece. And you don't have to cut a whole piece that goes away all the way to the bottom, unless you just want to. You could cut it, you know, to go like right here, because you're not going to see anything but this little top piece. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to put this down yet. I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of pattern paper and adhere this to there, and I will be right back. Okay, so I got everything cut out. What I did is get all this together here. So this was the sheet that I just showed you guys, that I just started with. So I went ahead and cut out this back sheet. This one right here. So this is 3 by 5 3/4. That's going to go right there. And then this sheet is going to go, let me push this up a little bit. This sheet will go here, over the top of that. And then this one measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, the sheet right here. So you're going to layer that over the top of that. And then for these two pieces right here, you'll need 4 sheets of 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. 3 1/2 this way, 5 1/2 this way. So I went ahead and did 4 of those. So you'll just layer these there, like this. You remember to put your magnet there before you adhere that one, and then that'll go on that one. So when it's closed, it'll look like this, and then on your book, like I said, this is the first page, it'll look something like that. And then you'll just have some tags you can put back there. So let me go back over that with you guys and just make sure that I told you right. So you'll need 4 of these for your flaps right here. There'll be 5 1/4 inches this way, and then 3 1/4 this way. So you need 4 of these. So there's the 4 of those. And then for this piece that you punched out, this piece right here will be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that'll layer right over the top of that. And then for this little piece, since you won't need a piece for this whole sheet, this little piece right here measures 3 this way by 5 3/4 this way. So you'll layer it here on here, and you'll layer your piece that you punched will go next, right there. And that'll layer over the top of that. And then these will layer over this. And don't forget to put your magnet on here, on this side, before you layer your pattern paper, because you won't be able to put it on there after you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that, and then I'm going to put my magnet on the back of here and put it in my book so you guys can see it. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so I haven't put my paper on here yet. I thought you guys might need to see how I do this. These are the magnets that I used, and they are very, very tiny, yet very strong. I purchased these off of eBay, and so I just wanted to share, you guys with these. These are very, very tiny magnets, and I'll put the link to the eBay seller I buy these from in the description bar below. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all this on here, and like I said, I use this Fabri-Tac glue, and I'm going to let it come on down here. Okay, so it's down. So you're just going to put this glue right here. And like I said before, it really doesn't take, that much glue, just a little bit. And you're just going to put this, try to center it on your paper best you can, right there. And then this next piece I'm going to use, I'll go ahead and put this paper on there next. So I'm just going to put my Fabri-Tac glue on here. I'm sure you guys can probably do this better. I'm trying to make sure I'm still in frame and everything else. So I'm going to put this piece on here. And like I said, this is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And if you don't get it right, you can adjust that. And since this is going to be a pocket, you are just going to adhere it on the edges with this glue right here, or this is the one I use, with your choice of glue. So I'm just going to put it around the edges here. And that's way too much glue. I'll have to take some of that off. So let me take some of that off there. And paper towel. Oh goodness, look what I did. Okay. Maybe that'll be okay. Alrighty, so you're just going to adhere this right here on here. It's going to go all the way to the bottom. And on each side there. Just like that. And I'm just going to mash those down. Okay, and then we are going to adhere these pieces on here. So I'll go ahead and do that. I don't know if you guys could see just a minute ago, but I was going to get a paper towel out where I put too much glue on that one. And I just flipped my blanket right up in the middle of the glue that I had there. Okay. I'm not going to put my paper there yet, but I will put it there in a few minutes. And so we're going to just put, let's see, a piece here. I keep forgetting I'm doing this on a camera here, so I'm trying to make sure I stay in frame so you guys can see how I'm doing this. I'm going to do that page. Alright, so there's all of those that are done there. So now I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to try to figure out where I want to put my magnet. I'll go ahead and get that off, and I'm going to use, sorry about my little dog. My husband's putting our bigger dog up, and he doesn't like him. So I'm going to go ahead and put this magnet down, and I just use some of the Scotch Quick Dry for that. I'm just going to put it right around up in here in the corner of that. And I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on here. I'm sorry guys, I keep forgetting. Let me move up here. Just using some Fabri-Tac on the back of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Be careful not to move my paper too much because I don't want to move my magnet. And so that's kind of the way that looks. So then you want to put your magnets like right in here. So you want to get another, these little things are so hard to get apart, sometimes I can't get them apart. So you want to get another magnet and just turn this over and it'll find itself. See how it just goes straight to that. So then you're just going to put a little bit of glue right in here where it went and just lay it right there. And I normally like to let that dry just for a few minutes. Make sure everything's, you know, good and dry. And then all you have to do is just take your mini album, open it up, and you're going to adhere this to here. Being careful not to get on this score line here, but to center it like that. And that will be your first page. So let me go ahead and get my glue on there. I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac glue on here, all around the corners and the edges. I'm going to go around that magnet there. I'm just going to go all around the corners real good. And in the side and around this magnet. Then you're going to just adhere this on here like that. Like I said, just be really careful. Make sure you're not on your score line here or it will not fold, you know, close and open very well. So that is, you know, kind of how that turned out. And so when you get ready to, you know, look at it, you'll just flip this up and that'll be that page, that'll be that page, and then after this dries you can make some tags, and they can be large tags. They can go all the way down to here depending on which tags, you know, ever how you want them to be. For this mini album right here, I just cut out, you know, a few smaller tags and put them in there. So you can do it, you know, ever how you like to do it. They'll fit like down in there. And like I said, they can be a lot longer than this, so you can do that, you know, ever how you want to do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop right now. I will do this second page with you guys, and I'll try to do this whole mini album, but this is going to take some time, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have. So, but that's how it looks so far. That's your first page. And then you can always go right in here and discuss it, and you can put some more pattern paper, you know, from your paper collection. You can just cut a little strip off and put here. You can put lace trims, or anything like that. But I'm not going to go over anything like that with the laces or, you know, coloring in any kind of items or anything. I'm just going to show you the basic layouts of each page. So that's it for right now. I will talk to you guys later in the second one. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.